All right. Am I audible to everyone, guys? Please confirm.
Yes.
Okay. Um, let's start this particular Azure demo. Um, all right. Let's start the Azure demo. So first of all, I want to understand like the profile of the people who are present here, so that I know the general audience. So can each one of you, or like just let's do a small round, right? So can you guys just say a few sentences that, hey, I am from this data analyst background or informatica background or a SQL developer or whatever it is. Can you please type in the chat one by one, like Faisal, Madhur, Priyanka, Rahul, Sai, Samir, Sandesh. Can you guys please do me a favor? Please type your profile in the chat. Like like, hey, 5 years of experience in data analyst background or fresher or whatever it is. Can you please type in the chat, guys, one by one, please, so that I know the general audience. DBA, DA background. Madhur Jain, how much experience you have? Rahul has like 11 years of experience into business intelligence background. Guys, please type. It will take like 1 minute probably. Please type. Let's make it interactive session so that I know everyone probably. Uh, all right. Okay, all right. I think I got few response, but let me share my screen. So first of all, before we begin the demo, let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, I am Abhishek Agrawal. I am a Microsoft certified Azure data engineer. I'm having 8 to 9 years of experience into data engineering background, Azure data engineering background. I have done my graduation from NIT Raipur in 2016. And after that, I have worked into like uh, um I have worked into complete. I have done like 1 to 2 years into like data analysis and SQL background. But after that, I got a project into data engineering, right? And then I basically switched my profile into data engineering completely, which is particularly on Azure background. And I have like delivered 20 to 25 data migration project, right? And I started this teaching journey back in COVID timing when like my friends lost their job, and then like I wanted to help them to basically learn and then switch, right? So I taught them this Azure projects, different Azure project, and then it helped them to switch. Then I started teaching students into this background, right? And it has been 2 to 2.5 years. I helped around 600 to 700 people to move into this data engineering background, which is particularly on Azure background. Okay. Now, before we start, like, what are the general questions which people might have when they move into Azure background, right? These are the general questions which people have. Let me address those questions, and then if you guys align with this question, you can also inform me, right? So these are the general question which people might have, that, hey, what is cloud? I don't know what is cloud. First of all, sometimes this is the doubt, right? What is cloud? I don't know. Now, if you know about cloud, then sometimes people have a question about, hey, why Azure only, right? So suppose you have AWS as well, you have GCP as well. Why I should go for Azure, right, rather than going for AWS or GCP or whatever it is, right? Then people have a question about, hey, like, I know Azure, but now there are job openings for Azure, like there are like good enough job opening for Azure. Can I switch having like 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience? Can I do that? Now people have a question about, hey, in the job description there are so many things, right? People are telling me to learn DevOps, people are telling me to learn Cosmo DB or unstructured processing or God knows how many things, right? So sometimes people are confused about, hey, what is data engineering or how I can switch to data engineering? What are the tools I need to learn? What are the things I need to learn, right? Then people sometimes have a question about, hey, I'm a fresher, I have a career gap, I have 5 to 10 years of experience, can I switch? How I can switch, right? Then sometimes people have a question about, hey, Abhishek, I am from Power BI background, I am from SSIS background, I am from Informatica background, I am from admin background, can I switch? How I can switch? So I am asking you this question to tell me your profile so that I can help each one of you to understand, right? So how you can switch, and based upon your profile, how you can switch, right? Because the learning path of a SQL developer having 10 years of experience will differ from a person having 1 year of experience, or can differ from a admin guy who has like 11 years of experience, right? It can differ person to person. So everybody should not learn Azure data engineering in the same manner, but we should learn in a different manner, so that I can guide you accordingly. Now, sometimes people have a question, Abhishek, I know SQL only, I know Python only, I know both of them, right? So suppose how much Python I should learn, how much SQL I should learn, I need to learn both, right? Then sometimes people have a question about, hey, like how we will do projects, how we will practice on Azure, right? How much experience I can show by current learning which we are having, right? These are the question. Now how we'll approach the interview, how we will handle the scenario based question, like, hey, what is the team size, what is the project volume, what is the data volume which you have handled, right? Now, like, if all of this is are clear, sometimes you have a question about, hey, how we will handle scenario based question, right? All of these questions, right? So we will try to address each one of each questions here, right? But if you have any question which I haven't covered here, you guys can tell me, and I can address that question as well. But these are the general question which people have, which I have written here, and I will make sure that each and every question is answered, like, while we conduct the overall class. Okay. All right, guys. Anybody has any question which is not written here? You can tell me if you have any question which is not written here.
Hey Abhishek, appreciate the explanation, whatever you were given. Since
Well,
me having a experience of like 10 years or 11 years, so we
mhm.
concentrate on the use case. I mean, our database administration is no more database administration. Definitely, we have to take care of the database engineering, I mean, data engineering projects also. So
Mhm.
this course is like, I mean, like how it will be going, like theory based or use case based, and is it's like a industry based training? How it will be, Abhishek? That's what my question.
I will be teaching you whatever I know. Meaning, you have like how much experience you have?
It's about 11 years of experience.
11 years of experience as a data, like 11 years of experience into which field?
It's
Like
like
a
a
SQL DBA, right? SQL DBA, right?
SQL DBA. I
Now,
mean,
yeah,
manage
yeah,
Azure products also.
okay. Now, in 10 years of career, if I ask you that, hey, like, you probably have done like some sort of a work in redundant. For example, like in my 8 years of career, I delivered project, multiple project, like 20, 25 project, whatever projects I have delivered. After
Mhm.
some point of time, you basically do a same kind of a work again and again, right? So for
Yeah,
example,
that's it.
you are creating like a authorization, authentication, or your admin, or you're setting up the networking for your SQL database, right? Whatever you're doing, you probably like doing it again and again, all over again. It's not like every project is new, right? Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, so you can take it as granted. 70% it will be a redundant. Yeah.
Redundant work, yes. So that is why we become quick, right? So suppose after experience by experience, we become quick because we know things now, right? So this is what we will do here. In my 8 years of career, right? It's not like all the projects which I have done is completely new, right? We basically do the redundant work. For example, like I have done this particular data migration project. Then I have done this particular architecture as well. I have done this architecture as well. And then I have done like other architecture as well. For example, I have done this architecture as well, this architecture as well. I have done multiple architectures. So in the current um, like the way we want to learn things is, I will be teaching you different scenarios, different architecture diagram to handle a data migration or to handle the requirements in Azure, so that you know different scenarios and you know different architecture diagrams to be implemented. And once you know it, once you learn it, once you practice it, then you will be in the position to answer interview question. Reason being that you have basically covered all the scenarios, different scenarios, not all the scenario, because I cannot teach you everything, because I also haven't done everything. I am also learning, but I will teach you the general scenarios which is being covered, which is being asked. And then when you go to the interview, you will be able to answer these interview questions, and at the same time you will be able to handle scenarios because you have done that by yourself. So just to answer your question, the learning which we are doing is industry based as in I will be teaching you whatever I have done
Okay.
so that you learn it, and then you basically go implement it by yourself. If you like, you do your homework regularly so that you implement those scenarios, and then you will be able to handle the project. This is how the training will go.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks. Thanks, Akshay.
Okay. Anybody has any doubt or anything which I haven't written in this normal questions, guys, you can tell me. And I will make sure that I will answer those questions as well. Okay. I think I have written everything, but like, if you have something which is not written here, you can tell me and I will be able to address those questions as well. We have very small group, so it's okay. You can drop me, you can stop me and ask questions as well. It's completely fine. All right, guys. So let's start with what is cloud, why Azure, and all of these questions, right? So let's start with that first of all. What is cloud? Okay. So I will try to answer this question. So anybody wants to answer this question, right? What is cloud? What do you know about cloud? Anybody wants to give some few sentences about what is cloud and why do we need cloud? Anybody wants to say some sentence, guys? Okay, fine. I will say, no problem. What is cloud? Let's try to relate cloud with very some basic example, right? Suppose in 2012, when I was in college, I was using pen drives, right? Pen drives, CDs, all of these things to store our data, right? To store my photos. Whenever I'm going to a trip, I basically, or my father has a DSLR, right? So we used to go to some sort of a trip, and then we use our camera, click photos, store it in some cameras, and then in pen drive, and then we used to like share photos. And then whenever I'm going to a marriage, I used to collect pen drive, used to watch all this marriage function in like drive, this pen drive sharing or CDs, DVDs, right? That we used to do. But nowadays, what we do, whenever if somebody has like, there is marriage functions coming in December or January, right? So what we do generally, we go to the function, somebody share the link, and nowadays there is a AI capability as well. Somebody can just, you can select your own image, and then all the photos will come. All of these things are coming. Now, if you think about it, each one of us shifted to cloud already. How we shifted to cloud? Because we are using cloud product already, right? Suppose our WhatsApp are getting backed up in the cloud, we are using Google Photos nowadays, right? And then this shift happened eventually. You haven't planned for it, but it happened. Reason being, it's convenient. For example, like why I'm using Google Photos, because if 100 GB is full, I can upgrade it very easily. I don't need to bother about pen drive is lost and then it is not usable, it's corrupted and all of that. That I don't need to bother. Okay. So data loss and recovery will be handled by the cloud service provider. Collaboration is very easy. I can create a drive link, share it between my friends, and all of that I can do. Upgrade is very easy. Implementation is very easy. That is why everybody is switching to the cloud nowadays, right? So as individual is switching to the cloud, every company is switching to the cloud because of these advantages. Okay, so why cloud is important? Because of these advantages. Now, what is cloud? So now let's try to relate cloud as well with very simple example. When I was in college, I was going to a internet cafe and used to use their computer and used to pay 20 rupees an hour. And I think all of us has done it, right? because we are like 80s, like 90s kid, right? So we probably like go to the internet cafe, try to just like use their computer and then pay them 20 rupees an hour, 10 rupees an hour. So if you think about it, you are just doing that, right? You are trying to use the servers or computers provided by like Microsoft, Amazon, GCP, and you're paying them. Suppose I do have my own computer, right? Like suppose I say that I don't want to use cloud from today onwards. I don't want to use cloud at all, right? Now, what is the disadvantage of it? For example, my computer has 16 GB RAM, right? 16 GB RAM, but I want to process 2 TB of data. Then I need to go to the market, purchase 2 TB of computer, right? And then I need to process my data. Then I need to sell that computer to some other like company and all of that, right? I don't want to do that. I just want to opt for a remote server. I need to go to the market, opt for a server which I can rent it out, right? And then process the data, do it, and my job is done. So that is what cloud capability gives you, right? So cloud basically gives you a servers which you can rent it out and you pay for it, right? So the practice of using a remote server hosted on internet to store, manage, process data rather than your local computer or a personal computer, and it's on demand, it's pay as you go. So as much as you use it, you need to pay for it, and it's on demand. Whenever you want to opt for it, you can opt for it, right? So that is what the cloud is. All right, I think we all understood what is cloud and what is cloud computing. Okay, and I will try to make things simple for you. We are not going into too much technical details, but we are just trying to understand things, trying to get a gist of it. Okay, now why it's important to learn only Azure? So I'm not saying that you should learn only Azure. What I'm saying is, because I am from Azure background, it has been 8 years I'm working in this Azure background, right? So guys, to be honest, I'm a bit biased here. I like Azure because I have switched multiple careers using Azure, right? So I can tell you why I feel Azure is better. And I have many reasons to say, right? But why I feel Azure is a better reason being that in my 8 years to 9 years of career, I haven't started with very fancy job of like 50 LPA package, right? That I haven't started after finishing my college. I started with very simple 4 to 5 LPA package, general package. Then I switched multiple companies to make it 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, right? All of that journey I have seen, and I was able to do that because it's not like I'm very talented, I can crack all the jobs. It's because there are opportunities, right? Because suppose the people who has like 5 years of experience into admin or 10 years of experience into suppose some sort of a SQL developer, right? When you want to switch, the most important thing is you are getting calls so that you can go to the market, give interview and switch your job. That is most important, right? If you don't get call, then you cannot switch. Now, when I wanted to move myself from India to Germany, it's not like I have done a master's here and came here. I directly applied from India and then I got a job in Germany because there was opportunity in Germany. That is why I applied and got a job. So no matter if you go to some sort of a Naukri.com, right? Over here, let's go to Naukri.com. And when you go to Naukri.com over here, when you search like a job, Azure data engineering job, search it. Then you will see the openings for all the salary brackets. See the opening 3 to 5, 5, 3 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 30, 75, right? Though the job openings are getting less when you go to the higher package, and it's known, right? Nobody is just like all the companies are not offering you 70, 75 LPA package because they cannot afford it, right? So you basically it's increasing and that is decreasing, but there is an opening, right? Which is important. And you can do it. You can go and search for AWS as well. You can search GCP as well, but you'll always and always see AWS data, Azure data engineering has more opening than AWS data engineering than a GCP opening. That you'll always see, no matter if you're finding a job in India or in US or in Europe, right? You can do your own research and that you can just search AWS, you can search different role and then you can find it. Okay. Now the another thing which is better in Azure is uh, among my 8 years of career, I have worked in different companies, right? And all of you guys who are working in a corporate job, like you guys can also like understand what I'm saying is in my 8 years of career, I haven't worked in any of the company in which I'm not using a Microsoft product, be it a Office, be it a VS Code, be it a different softwares, right? I have many friends who are working in Amazon, who is working in GCP as well. They also use a Microsoft product, right? Like suppose they build, we have Chat GPT, right? So for data security and all of that, they are building in-house AI tools. But they also use a Microsoft product because they have Microsoft has a very good corporate penetration, right? So it's very easy for Microsoft to market Azure in general. And at the same time, if you search who is the biggest investor in OpenAI, Microsoft is the biggest investor in OpenAI. So, and then I have other reasoning as well. So let's not go into deep into all this details, right? But just in general, why Azure is better? Because Azure has more openings compared to GCP and AWS. Azure has a very good corporate penetration, so it's become Microsoft easy to adopt Azure in general. And then Chat GPT and OpenAI, these guys are also Microsoft is heavily investing in OpenAI. That is why Azure is better. Okay. All right. So now we understood what is cloud. We understood like Azure has a like good openings or not, right? Now let's try to understand what is data engineering. Okay. And why it's important to understand what is data engineering is. Suppose let's try to go to any sort of opening here. Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, Data Factory, Data Lake, Microsoft, Python, all of that. Pretty good job opening, but like let's go to some other job opening. PySpark, Data Factory, Databricks, CI/CD, ATL. Okay, let's go to some other job openings. Data Factory, PySpark. Okay, good enough. All right. This kind of a job opening confuses people. Okay, suppose if you go here, these are decent, good, right? Decent, good. But this confuses people, right? Why it confuses? Because you'll see that hey, REST API, Python, charts, modeling, SAS, mathematics, PySpark, NumPy, engineering, data factory, data architecture, dashboard, native app, data science, Seaborn, pandas, data structure, ETL reporting, statistics, matplotlib. I don't know whether they want a data engineer or data scientist. Now, when you go to down below, somewhere down below, let's go here. Let's open this. Generative AI, artificial intelligence, data modeling, data warehousing, machine learning, AWS, Snowflake. Okay, now I opened 3-4 job openings. Now, if I ask you guys, hey, what I need to learn, you will tell, hey, generative AI. Also learn some generative AI, learn some data science, learn some like CI/CD as well, and learn data factory, Databricks, Python, PySpark, SQL. Learn everything, go apply, and then get a job. And now, guys, you cannot do it. Limit because all of you are experienced. At least the people who pinged in the chat, right? 10 years, 5 years. All of you probably has some people have family here right now. Some people are doing a full-time job, 9 to 5 job, coming here having a dinner. Then I will tell you to learn all of this and then come and switch your data engineering job. You need 2 years to do that. Okay. So it's very important. What is important is you list down what is really important to switch, and then you basically know what is data engineering. You know how what are the tools are really important for data engineering, and then you switch rather than you learn everything and then you switch, because you cannot do it. You learn enough to switch, right? That should be the motto. Your motto should not be learn everything and switch, because you cannot learn everything. Your motto should be I am learning enough so that I switch, I get a job, then I basically will learn further, because learning is an endless process. I'm still learning. So the idea over here is we basically understand what is data engineering. right? And then we understand what is enough to switch to a data engineering profile, and then we learn that itself to switch. That's all. Okay. So it's very, very important that we first understand what is data engineering. Then it's also very important to understand what is enough to switch, and then we'll understand the roadmap afterwards. Okay. All right. So to understand what is data engineering, I will try to open something. Give me a moment. Okay. Let's try to understand what is data engineering in very, very simple terms. Okay. Uh, so now I basically want to do a side hustle, right? And then I want to open some sort of a retail supermarket chain, just like Reliance present in India. And I am opening a retail supermarket in like Bangalore, in like Mumbai, and then in Balandur, right? And suppose like different location: Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Delhi. I have opened a retail store, and as I am from technical world, right? I do have some friends who are basically technical enough to store the data in Oracle, in SQL Server, in files, in Cloud API, right? So different people store the data at different locations, right? Now, after 3 years or 4 years, I thought that, hey, it's difficult to share, it's difficult to maintain, my storage is getting full. I want to move the data to the cloud storage. And at the same time, I want to analyze my data, meaning I want to understand total sales, I want to understand total revenue, all of that I want to do. So I want to do the reporting as well. So if I want to do that, then I need a solution for it, right? I need a basically solution for that, so that it can be done automatically daily. So suppose once I have done it, right? Once I called all of my friends, I told them to upload to some drive location, I will download it, I will analyze it, and then I will understand total sales. But but it is hectic because daily they need to upload at a particular time, I need to download it, and I need to do total sales calculation. But I cannot do it daily, right? So I want a particular solution for this. I want to do the movement, data movement, transformation, and reporting at the same time, right? And this is basically data engineering problem, right? You want to do the data extraction, means data movement, and at the same time data transformation, and do the reporting as well, right? So this is standard data engineering problem in which data extraction, data transformation, right? So what is data engineering? If somebody asks you what is data engineering is nothing but data extraction and data transformation. Okay, so extract, transform, and load. So to learn data engineering, you need to learn two things: data extraction and data movement. That's all. Sorry, data extraction and data transformation. Okay, so these are the two things you need to learn: data movement and data transformation. You can also say data extraction and data transformation. Okay, means moving the data from point A to point B and also transforming the data to make it ready for the analysis. Now, beside that, CI/CD pipeline, AI, ML, or whatever machine learning or whatever is written is just like not data engineering, right? These are consultancy firm. Probably they want to hire you, do multiple jobs, right? And then guys, you cannot learn it, right? So we are here to prepare, not for there. If there are 10 openings, we are not here to prepare for all the 10 openings, because you cannot learn everything. We are here to prepare for 7 to 8 openings, check out 2 to 3 openings in which they want a person who can do everything for them. We cannot prepare for that, right? And let's accept we cannot prepare for that. We are here to prepare for data engineering. We are here to apply for the job who requires data engineering skill set, and who requires you to do data movement and data transformation. Okay, now what is the role of a data engineer? Among my 8 years of career, what are the things I have done? I basically done the data finding. I finded the right data for data analyst and data scientist, develop a ETL pipeline, maintain the data marts, monitor data pipeline, ensure the code quality is good, ensure the data quality is good. Ensure the cost of the pipeline is good enough. Make sure the data pipelines of performance is good. Make sure the governance is good. Make sure data lineage graph is made. What I what I won't be doing, right? In my 8 years of career, I haven't done it. I never done it. What is like building ML models, building reports in Power BI, making sure CI/CD pipelines are running, designing a front-end application, writing the code quality, making sure the infrastructure and security. All of this is not data engineering. So when you are targeting data engineering, don't start with this because it's not data engineering. You should really start with what is important rather than focusing on what is not important. For example, when I was in college, I used to go to the topper, right, and then tell them, hey, tell me all the important questions to prepare for the exam so that I get a very good exam, marks in the exam. Then he used to tell me what are the important points I need to learn so that I can crack the exams. This is what we need to do. As I am a data engineer right now, among my 8 years of career, I know what are the important topics you need to focus on rather than learning a whole syllabus or the syllabus which is some part of syllabus which nobody asks in the exam. So we need to learn that itself, and that is what we will be doing, right? So we will learn enough and we will learn very important things which will help you to get a job and help you to deliver the project, and this is what we will focus on. Okay, so what is data engineering? Data engineering nothing but data extraction and data transformation. Okay, ETL or ELT, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. Now to learn data engineering, these are the tools which is important, right? Data Factory, Synapse Analytics, DevOps, Databricks, SQL DB, Data Lake, right? Now you will again say, Abhishek, you again telling me 6-7 tools to learn. I cannot learn this much, right? So in that case, let's list down few of the tools, right? Data Factory for data movement or data extraction, right? Moving the data from point A to point B. If you want to move your data from your own computer to cloud storage, Data Factory will help you. Now Synapse Analytics and Fabric is built on top of it. So you can, once you learn Data Factory, you can easily work with Synapse, you can easily work with Fabric as well. And data transformation. Data transformation, you use SQL DB for data transformation, right? The people who are SQL developer are already doing it, right? Or if you have a big amount of data, you can use Databricks, which is a distributed computing, to do the data transformation. That also you can do. So either you use Data Factory or use SQL DB or you use Databricks, right, for data transformation. All right. So these are the important tools to focus on to switch to data engineering job. Data Factory, Databricks, SQL DB. Data Factory for data movement, SQL DB and Databricks for data transformation. When you have less data, you transform using SQL DB, and when you have more data, you transform using Databricks. Okay. Now data lake, DevOps, and all of this are like can be learned. If you learn just like do this, it can be learned. Okay. All right. Anybody has any doubt till here, guys? You can ask me if you have any doubt. Okay.
No, Abhishek, very good.
No. Okay, let's proceed, guys, if you don't have any doubt.
So Abhishek,
Oh, yeah, tell me.
yeah, so you will cover only Azure Data Factory, Azure Data, sorry, Azure SQL DB and Azure Databricks, right? The th three things you are saying like you will cover.
I will
And
cover
then,
80% this.
okay,
80%
so
of the syllabus is this.
okay, you
Yes.
mean you will also cover the lake, data lake and DevOps and Snaps, right?
I will also cover I will also cover data lake. I will also cover DevOps. I will also cover Synapse Analytics. I will also cover Fabric.
Okay, okay,
I will
yeah,
cover like not significant part of syllabus revolve around this, but we will cover that as well. But we'll mainly cover Data Factory, mainly cover Databricks, mainly cover SQL DB.
okay.
So if you're joining this course, you should not join this course for Synapse. You should not join this course for DevOps. You should not join this course for Fabric. You should join this course to learn data engineering, and to cover data engineering, Data Factory, SQL DB, and Databricks is enough. But we'll also cover other tools as well. We will also cover Logic. Yeah, we'll also cover Key Vault. But I'm not mentioning like, hey, I will cover like, I'm just telling you the important tools right now. Okay. So your focus when you're learning data engineering should be data factory, should be Databricks, should be SQL DB. And I will say your focus should not be learning data factory as well. Reason being that, like, when your focus should be learning data movement or data extraction, and the way of doing data movement and data extraction, we are using data factory for this. You should think like this, because after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, god knows, like, data factory is not there, right? But the concept, how you do the data migration, how you do the data movement will be same, right? You do the data migration, you do the data movement accordingly how it should be done, and the tool for that is data factory right now. Similarly, nowadays people are moving to Fabric, right, and all of that, but the way you do the data migration is same still. Now we will be also focusing on SQL DB. When you have less data, when you have more data, we will be focusing on Databricks. Now let's try to see the UI of it so that you're familiar about it, okay? So now, so guys, one more thing, all the classes will go over here in the portal.azure.com, where the subscription is which you get like 1 month of free subscription. And after 1 month, you can upgrade your account to pay as you go, which costs you 500 to 1000 rupees a month. And I will guide you how you can practice in that much amount of money, right? So all the classes will go over here in the free subscription, okay? And here we'll practice all the things. Now, if I show you data factory, how does it look? This is how it looks, right? So suppose if I open data factory, and now if you want to copy the data, right? Copy means source is my computer and then sync is SQL server. You can copy the data like this, right? So to know data factory, there is no coding required. If you don't know coding, you can learn data factory without any problem, right? If you don't know SQL, if you don't know Python, anything of that sort, you can learn data factory without any problem, okay? Because it's a no code tool, right? There's no code required to write like in data factory, okay? Because it's a no code tool. We can do data migration without any tool. Here we are not writing any code, and then still we can do the migration, okay? Now the SQL DB is nothing but like a data transformation use SQL, right? That's all. So if I open over here, right, you have multiple tables over here which you can transform using SQL stored procedure, right? You can write your stored procedure, you can transform data using SQL over here, right? But now this, now suppose somebody say that, Abhishek, I have this SQL database, I can transform data, but why do we need Databricks in that case, right? So now Databricks is built on Spark. Now what is Spark? So the SQL process data in single machine, right? So suppose, for example, like you have this, if you go to the compute and okay, for example, like let me choose this general purpose. So it has like a single machine, for example, like 120 vCore, 360 GB memory, single machine hardware it is, right? Where your processing happens. But when you have a big amount of data, you need a distributed computing. Distributed computing means you want to process your data into different machines so that you get a faster result. For example, if I have a box of coin to count, I can rather count it in a like a one person can count it, or the box of coin can be counted by 10 people. And if the box of coin is counted by 10 people, your counting will become faster, right? That is what happens when you use Databricks, right? Or when you use Spark, I would say when you use Spark, that is what happens. So now if I open like so now this is the distributed computing. For example, you have 2 minus 2, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1. You submit your job to a master node. It divides your node to different machine, 2 minus 2, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1. and then processing happens, which makes the processing faster rather than making the processing slow. Okay, that is what happens in the Spark. Okay. Now Spark is open source, right? Spark can be used in Databricks as well, in Fabric as well, in Synapse as well. Spark can be downloaded in my own machine and then processing can happen, right? So why do we need Databricks in that case, right? So suppose Databricks, if I go, and if I open this Databricks, then Databricks is a like created by Databricks is created by creators of Apache Spark. So it's a much more mature tool when you want to do Spark or distributed computing. Okay. Now the Spark can be run in Fabric, can be run in Synapse, but Databricks is much more mature tool when it comes when you want to do distributed computing, because it's built by the creators of Apache Spark. That is why Databricks is much more mature tool. Okay, when you want to do distributed computing, when you want to do Spark processing. Okay. Now Spark itself can be written in multiple language. For example, Spark can be written in Python, can be written in SQL, can be written in Scala, can be written in Java, can be written in R. So if you know any of the language, for example, if you know SQL, you can work with Spark. If you know Python, you can work with Spark. If you know Scala, you can work with Spark. If you know Java, you can work with Spark. Similarly, like so now I am coming to the question of coding is required or not. So for Data Factory, no coding is required. For SQL database, SQL is required, obviously, right? And for Databricks, if you know Python or if you know SQL, you can work with Databricks, right? If you know SQL, you can adapt to Python. If you know Python, you can adapt to SQL. I was a SQL developer back in 2016, but slowly when I started working on Databricks, I adapted, right? And nowadays its adoption is very easy. So because you can go to the Chat GPT, you can write a SQL code, you can write a PySpark code. Suppose I can go over here, I can write like give me PySpark code. So you can, if you know the coding or if you know basic understanding, you can understand table one want to join with table two, inner join he is making, and then it's making ID, right? And when you see the syntax multiple times, you will adapt. Simple, right? So if you don't know Data Factory, you can start with like, sorry, if you don't know coding, start with Data Factory. If you know coding, you can start either with Databricks or you can start with like SQL, normal SQL you can also write, right? All right, guys. Now let me try to bring our syllabus now, right? Give me a moment. Okay, all right. I think you guys are able to see my screen again. Can you confirm, please?
Yes.
Okay. Now, like if you see this particular training program, there are two modules, right? So first is Azure Data Engineering module, right? 2 months module, and there is another Databricks and Spark module, which is also for 2 months module, right? Now, both of the module basically makes the whole syllabus complete, right? It completes the whole syllabus. And there are two modules. One is Azure Data Engineering module, right? And another is your Databricks and Spark module, right? Now let's try to understand each of the module in a proper manner, right? Now suppose there are different kind of a people can be there, right? Suppose Abhishek is a marketing person, right? Abhishek is a marketing person or a MBA person having 2 years of experience. Don't know SQL, don't know coding, don't know any Python, right? Abhishek don't know anything coding wise, right? But he has 2 years of experience and done MBA, right? Now Abhishek can learn Azure data engineering module very easily, right? Why? Because it is focused around data factory. You can learn about data factory, you can learn about blob storage, you can learn about link service integration runtime, you can learn about copy data activity, full load, delta load, right? And then you'll do some DevOps, right? And then you do modeling architecture, lakehouse architecture, you know, SQL, like ADF, Databricks, right? Here the main focus is data factory, little bit of Databricks, little bit of Synapse, and then Fabric, Logic App, right? All of that will be done. And then we will do 3 projects. This project, this project, this project. We will do 3 projects, 3 architecture diagram, 3 scenarios. We'll focus on data factory mainly, along with Fabric, along with Synapse, along with Key Vault, along with data lake. And you should do this course curriculum. If you have less experience, like if you don't know any SQL, any Python, if you have less experience as well, you should do this course curriculum, right? Now somebody will tell Abhishek, I basically, like, now suppose there are second kind of a profile, right? So Abhishek, marketing background, 2 years of experience, don't know coding, right? So you do this course curriculum and in the side you learn SQL, little bit of SQL, and then we'll give you SQL and Python recording for free so that you can learn it, right? Now, so with this particular curriculum, the SQL and Python recording is given as a part of this course curriculum, so you can learn it as well, right? Now, if Abhishek is an Informatica developer having 2 years of experience, knows SQL, doesn't know Python, or Abhishek knows Python, don't know SQL, right? And then Abhishek wants to learn like like uh, so he knows SQL or he knows Python, right? In that case, what he can do, he can learn Azure Databricks and Spark, because why I'm saying to learn Azure Databricks and Spark, because if you see, the data size is increasing day by day, and it is this particular report is created by World Economic Forum. So you can see AI and big data is basically a very trendy, increasing, high in demand skill set. And when you have big amount of data, you need to do processing, big data processing, and that can be done using Spark, that can be done using Databricks. So you should really focus on Databricks, right? For that, in that case, right? So the second module, right? The second module means this module. Introduction to Databricks, introduction to Databricks architecture, RDT data frame API, conversion of pandas to PySpark, PySpark to pandas, transformation actions, DB utils, processing different file, types of views, managed table, unmanaged table, DevOps, JDBC connector, Databricks CLI, Spark UI, SAD implementation, directed acyclic graph, dynamic partition pruning, and then you do 2 projects with me, right? If you know coding, and if you have less experience as well, right? So Spark, right? You learn about Spark, you learn about Databricks and Spark, right? And Spark, which you're learning, will make you capable enough to basically understand Spark in AWS Databricks, GCP Databricks, Synapse Databricks, like Synapse Analytics as well, Fabric, AWS Glue, Snowflake, locally as well, because the knowledge which you will get here, right? The knowledge which you'll get here, as in, like, the different knowledge, right? So suppose over here you are focusing on Spark architecture, Databricks modeling architecture, RDT data frame API, right? Whatever you're learning here, it is making you capable enough to work with Spark, and it is making you capable enough to use Spark anywhere, right? We are focusing on Databricks, Azure Databricks particularly, but the knowledge which you'll get here is universal, right? Now, if you say that, Abhishek, I am like 5 years of experience guy, right, or more experienced guy, then you should learn both of the module in detail, right? Because you are a more experienced guy, so you should learn both in detail, right? So you should learn module 1 as well properly and module 2 as well properly, to switch, right? Why we divided this two module? Because if somebody is less experienced, suppose if somebody has 2 to 3 years of experience, he can also learn enough to switch rather than learning too much. Okay, and that is a motto right now. Okay, so not don't learn like too much to switch, but learn enough to switch. So if you are more experienced, you ideally do both of the module, right? More experience as in 4 to 5 years, more than 4 to 5 years of experience, right? You do both of the module. And if you don't know coding, don't know any coding, less experience, do only Azure data engineering. If you have like a coding background and if you have less experience, do Azure Databricks and Spark, right? So let's try to summarize everything here. So Abhishek, no marketing background, no SQL, no Python, do only Azure data engineering. If you know SQL, Python, do Databricks and Spark, either SQL or Python. If you have more experience, do both of them. Okay. All right. Let me summarize everything for you so that it's clear for everyone. So the Azure Data Engineering syllabus will provide you 3 years of experience. You will be learning ADF, Databricks, Fabric, Synapse, warehousing, everything. You will do 3 projects with me. You'll get 3 years of experience. You learn about data migration, full load, delta load. You learn from scratch. You can expect up to 15 to 20 LPA. Now, if you do Databricks and Spark, you can get 3 years of experience. You learn about Databricks and Spark, Unity Catalog, everything. You do 3 projects. You learn about Databricks and Spark architecture. You learn about SQL. You should have a SQL and Python knowledge, SQL or Python, because you're working on Databricks. And if you have more experience, you do a combined course. Okay. Now let's try to understand based upon your profile which course is better for you and which what you should do, right? So now you guys, if you have any question, you can tell me related to whatever I said. Anybody has any question, guys? Nobody has a question. Okay, that's good. So what we'll do, right? We will basically do 2 projects over here, 3 projects over here. In combined course, we'll do around 5 projects, right? Now, sometimes people have a question about, hey, like how we will do everything, right? So we will be focusing on like suppose how the corporate training is provided, right? So in corporate, what they do, they give a problem statement and then they build they build the projects, right? So in corporate Infosys training and all of that also, they train you for 3 months and then you deploy you to a project, right? So this is what we will be doing. We will be basically focusing on a project based learning in which I will tell you the problem statement class by class. We'll start building on the problem statement. Suppose I will give you this particular problem statement and then class by class will build on the problem statement, right? And I will help you out to do projects, right? And then write project in your resume. Then I will also help you out to basically give interview question. Then I will give you like an interview questions are not like chat GPT-fied interview question. It's more on a like I am appearing to different interviews, preparing for what are the questions being asked, and then giving you the interviews, right? The interview which happens right now in today's world doesn't happen in 2 days, 2 years back, right? So I basically appear to the different interview and then give you the interview question, right? And then I will take a mock interview so that you're fully prepared, right? We are doing projects. I am helping you to write the project in your resume. Then we are taking some interview questions as well, and then we are writing the. I'm taking a mock interview as well so that you're fully prepared. This is how we will be approaching things. and I will tell you what a scenario based question can be asked and those things, right? So you're fully prepared. Okay. Now, and then after doing this course curriculum, you can also do the certificate, right? What is the certificate you can do? Let me show you this. So after doing this course curriculum, you can do this AZ 900, DP 900, Lakehouse Fundamental, Associate, Professional, all of the certificate also you can do by doing this course curriculum. Data Engineer certificate is not expired now. Microsoft is not supporting. But all of this certificate can also be done by doing this course curriculum. Okay. Now, the batch of the overall course is starting from Thursday, 7:30 p.m. IST. Sorry, 8:30 p.m. IST. And let me pull up this particular description only. Give me a moment. So the timing, like the batch is starting from 20th of November, right? 8:30 p.m. IST to 10:30 p.m. IST, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So the 4 months it will take, right? 4 months it will take if you're enrolling for a combined course, meaning like if you're enrolling for this particular course curriculum, it will take 4 months, right? And then the prerequisite to do this course is SQL and Python. You will also get a recording of SQL and Python from our site for free, right? I will be the trainer. So the course fees is 30,000 rupees for the combined course, right? You will get hands-on notes, recordings, and everything you'll get, right? And syllabus I was already showing you. And now if you say that, hey Abhishek, I am like don't know coding, I have less experience as well, I want to go with this Azure data engineering training program, or if you want to do individually Databricks and Spark, that is also feasible. That also you can do, right? So you can basically enroll for 2 months training program, right? So you can either, or 2 months training program you can also enroll, and then the fees of that would be like 17,000 rupees. Okay. All right, guys. If you have any question regarding anything, you can ask me now. Anybody has any question, guys?
Yeah, Abhishek, see, I told you like I am having a 5 year of experience. So, like after this course, want to switch in like a data engineering and all, like as your data engineering. So how many experience we can show them? This 5 year
Uh,
or less than 5 year?
it depends upon your expectations. So if you're expecting up to 20 LPA, you can show like um, you have 5 years of experience in which background?
ETL only, ab initio, ab initio
Uh,
development. Yeah,
and which particular tool you are using for ETL?
yeah, ab initio.
Okay, so you can say 2 years. Suppose if you're expecting less than 20 LPA, then you can say 2 years of experience into your own tool, which you said, 3 years of experience into Azure, and then you can switch. And it depends upon like your current CTC as well, right? Um so the suppose just scenario basis I'm talking about. Suppose if I'm getting 12 LPA and I have 5 years experience in a ETL background, then what I will do, I will write 2 years of my current experience, 3 years of Azure data engineering experience. I will try to target 14 to 15 LPA first, and then I try to switch. This is what I will recommend you to do. Now, if you say that Abhishek, I'm already getting 20 LPA, my expectation is more than 20 LPA, which is around like 24. Then in that case, I will recommend you to write 1 year of experience into your own tool, 4 years of Azure data engineering experience. in which you show like 1 year you worked into this tool ab initio, and then you basically 4 years you worked into Azure data engineering background, and then you try to write 4 projects, and then you try to switch.
Okay.
Okay, and you should do a combined course because you are a more experienced person.
Yes. So this
Okay,
course is
guys.
enough. Say, suppose if I will take that combined course, so this course is enough to write in the in like in resume 4 year. That's enough, right?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
more than enough. I will be teaching you the whatever I know, and I have 8 years of experience. So like I will make sure that I will teach you everything what I know. So we will be doing 4 to 5 projects, and it is enough to basically justify your experience. We will be doing all this architecture, like architecture evaluation. So we will do this architecture as well, which is traditional SQL architecture without Databricks. We'll do this 2011 architecture as well. We will also do this 220 architecture. So all this architecture will be implemented in combined course, which is architecture evaluations. This is how architecture evolved. We are covering all the scenarios to basically learn and implement. And this is how you can also say, okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Anybody has any doubt?
Abhishek, I have a question like, suppose, I mean, since I mean not I have 5 years or 8 years of experience, since I'm the sailing on same boat, so in case if I have a problem statement in my environment, in case if I have any doubt regarding the
Hmm.
architecture decisions, can we discuss
Hmm.
in these sessions or how?
So see, if you want to discuss with me, hey Abhishek, let's connect 10-20 minutes. I want to discuss something with you. It's completely fine. We can discuss it. Now, if you say that Abhishek, let's sit for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, discuss something, I'm okay. We can discuss it. But if you say that Abhishek, I need some dedicated time from you to discuss, that should be dealt separately.
Okay, great. I mean, like, so mostly, I mean, we will be working on the different projects, right? So
Mm,
definitely we need the suggestions. So the
yep.
whatever the projects, what we are doing for the learning actually it is showing for the experience or interview questions. But our
Mm.
scenario is different. That's why I asked this question.
Yeah. So suppose if you say that Abhishek, like I have some scenarios which I'm facing difficulty, I want to like take some consultancy, 4, 5 hours, 7 hours I might need for that. So you need to
Okay.
inform me prior, and then either I can suggest you, I can help you out. Tanvir can also help you out. We have other people as well working in our like background as well. They can also help you out if you're not available. But we'll make sure that we'll try our best
Yeah.
that your questions are resolved.
Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. Till now, I mean, I had a good connect with Tanvir also doing the same.
Mhm.
Anyways, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your reply.
Okay. All right, guys. Anybody has any question? Okay. Guys, please make sure you're joining the session or not joining the session doesn't matter. What matters is you are basically very, very clear what to switch and how to learn, right? And if you're joining, that's good. If you're not joining, if you're joining in future, whatever, it's also okay. But make sure your questions are answered. You are utilizing this session. So, all right, guys, if you want to enroll, you can probably like contact, right, Tanvir or the admin people, right? So this is a summary about everything. I'm pasting this in the chat. You can check it out, right? And then you can contact Tanvir if you want to go ahead with this. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I'm still here if you have any question. If you don't have any question, thank you so much for your time. We will see you around if you're enrolling for the course. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'm still here if you have some question, guys.